This is exactly right.
If audiobooks are your thing, or if you've been meaning to listen to more of them, you should check out a podcast called Ear Say, the Audible and iHeart Audiobook Club, hosted by Cal Penn.
Each episode spotlights standout audiobooks on Audible across all kinds of genres. Sci-fi, comedy, romance, thrillers, and more, with Cal talking to guests who help break down what makes each story worth listening to.
It's a fun, easy way to discover your next great audiobook.
Check out Ear Say on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Goodbye.
The best time to think about home security is before you need it.
That's exactly why there's Simply Safe.
Traditional home security only alerts you after a break-in has already happened, and that's too late. Simply Safe is changing that.
Simply Safe's U.S.-based live agents identify threats on your property and help deter them so intruders never get to your house.
The system is customizable so you can build one that fits your home and your specific needs.
The 24/7 professional monitoring is effective and affordable and won't lock you into a long-term contract.
I think that's what's so scary for so many people is that long-term contract. And like, what if it turns out you don't like it or need it, but they don't have that because they know you'll like it and you'll know that you need it and feel so much safer when you have it. Like at this point in my life, I would never go without a security system on my house. I just feel safer with actually having Simply Safe around.
There's a whole staff at Simply Safe that's waiting to talk to you and help you out. Right now, you can get 50% off your new system by visiting simplysafe.com/MFM.
That's half off at simplysafe.com/MFM.
There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Goodbye.
Get into the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event and get away with a deal so right, it almost feels wrong.
Right now, you can get great deals on Hyundai's most popular models,
including the adventure-ready SUVs like the Hyundai Santa Fe or Santa Fe Hybrid and the Tucson or Tucson Hybrid.
Plus, there's the bold and stylish Elantra loaded with the latest tech.
Or go all-electric with the Ioniq 5 or the Ioniq 9.
So get down to your local Hyundai dealer and get away with a deal you'll love during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Visit HyundaiUSA.com for details.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hello.
And welcome
to My Favorite Murder,
the Zoom edition.
The Zoom or in lockdown, and I haven't bathed in 2 to 3 days edition.
What would you say your essence is right now, Georgia?
It's like a pizza.
Yeah.
It's a pizza armpit.
Sure.
Like, but the gnarly pizza that you get at like when you are in student body, you're in student body and everyone pitches in to order pizza. So of course it's like trashy kind. How's your stench level? Are you look clean right now.
Thank you. I did bathe today. Thanks. I did. When I let it go too long, I don't bathe myself and I don't do like the dishes.
Yeah.
And then I have a realization of like, this is me putting depression on myself. The last thing I need to be doing. So I woke up this morning, took a shower, cleaned the house. Also because the dogs came in at some point last week when I had stripped the bed, of everything, even the mattress pad. And I was just washing everything like the weekly wash. Georgia went in there having been in the backyard with mud on her feet and walked across the mattress itself.
Georgie.
Yeah. I mean, and now with the cone, she can't win right now. And I'm like, oh, I want to be mad at you, but you're already a very sad individual. But there's just dog prints in, like, it's clay mud. It's not just plain mud. It's like the real dense stuff.
Oh, do you live in an Adobe household?
Adobe. Yeah, so I can't get I've spent several days doing different cleaning treatments of getting dog prints off the mattress. And so because of that, I've been sleeping on the couch. Then it's like that my room is off limits to me.
Yeah.
So that's off.
Yeah.
And then I'm just kind of sleeping on the couch and there's like when I wake up, I look down and there's like popcorn on the ground. Something, you know what I mean? Where it starts to get too much quickly. Because having animals, it's like it gets out of hand really quickly.
That's one thing I never did, even in my like deepest, darkest depression, is like go to sleep on the couch. Because I know it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. But it'll just be like, it gets darker and darker inside of my mind when I wake up on the couch.
Oh yeah. I've been surfing my own couch for like 3 years.
You
but
deserve a bed.
Off and on.
You deserve a mattress.
I deserve a bed, and I have been putting myself to bed two-bed in my new house, but until this debacle happened. Really, what I'm saying is my answer to your question is onions. It's just a strong onion smell.
Funyun? Because that would be cool. Straight up, not even fun.
It's not Funyun at all.
Oh.
It's just kind of gross, but I like it in the way that makes me feel like, ooh, the toxins are being released. Maybe that's because it really smells toxic. Quite.
Because you keep fainting when you get a whiff of yourself.
For real, it's like they're... Oh, wait, did I tell you about the day the UPS man came and I was like, hey, hold on. And then I ran inside and grabbed a bottle of Belvedere that I had sitting left over from that Christmas party. So I have like handles of liquor left over from this Christmas party. No brag. Sorry, everybody. Not drinking it and not interested. I actually tried to get myself like, hey, you could just drink a bottle of champagne right now one night. And I was like, for what? Like what? So you fall down and like split your head open?
Yeah.
So the UPS man was walking away and I was like, hold on one second. And I went and grabbed this bottle of Belvedere and gave it to him. So today he dropped something else off. And when I opened the door to get it, he was like almost to his truck. And then he turned around and goes, hey, thanks. And he was wearing a bandana like a bandit, like a green bandana just across his nose going down in a trunk.
He was like, I'm not messing with any of those YouTube videos that show you how to make like a perfectly adorable bandana. I just am putting it on my face.
No, just here. Yeah. I'm an old-fashioned Old West train robber. That's his look, which was really cool, actually.
Yeah.
But he walked back and goes, hey, thanks again for that bottle, man. Ooh, it was good all weekend long with the little orange juice. Like he told me about how he's been enjoying it. And I was just like, that's all I want to hear.
Yeah.
That's just, please do that.
You got to put those bottles of liquor to use.
Right. And then I don't drink it.
Yeah. Getting your delivery man shit-faced.
Yes. Take a break. You're worried all the time. You shouldn't have to be worried all the time. This is all the PPE I can give you. Nice vodka that someone else gave me.
Can I recommend real quick a couple like Instagrams that are making me happy corner?
100%. I was going to say, let's also talk about what we've been watching for TV on TV or movies because I am quickly running out of options and completely depending on other people on social media talking about.
I got a couple of those too. So let's do that.
Let's do it.
So the Instagrams that are making me happy is that Charo has an Instagram. And what a delight.
That woman's been entertaining me since I was born.
Wow.
She's been on the TV. I mean, she's like early days 70s variety show. She was always there.
Coochie.
Coochie.
She is so hilarious. She does this like how-to hand washing video that's just pure Charo, and she just like shows you what social distancing means. If you don't know who Charo is, just go find her Instagram. It's amazing. And then I sent you Leslie Jordan's Instagram.
I love him so much.
What has he been on? He's like a character actor, right?
I believe, and don't quote me on this, but I'm almost positive he got popular because he was on Will and Grace.
Oh, right. That's right. He was Megan Mullally's friend on it. I'm not sure for sure, but somebody retweeted him telling a story. It's just him talking to the camera. He's the most hilarious, charming Southern man. He reminds me, he's like a David Sedaris type, but all to himself and like a Southern grandma. It's the most hilarious thing I've ever seen.
And I think he's a very popular character actor.
Yes.
Like, I think aside from Will and Grace or whatever show he got, like, he really broke through on, he's just been on a ton of stuff because he's so good.
Yeah. So what's the video you saw?
He was telling a story. I can't remember. I think he was cooking something, but he was also telling a story, and it turned into like, I sniffed this one thing and then I was dancing all night. I mean, it was just yes.
He's totally candid, just tells you everything.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. And then also Steve Zahn, another great actor, has
what?
Yeah.
What's Steve Zahn up to?
Steve Zahn for realsies is his Instagram that his like teenage daughter made from him, and he is like psycho and hilarious and so charming in it. And he doesn't know what he's doing. It's so entertaining.
Oh my God, he's one of the great character actors, but just regular actors of all time. And he's in the great film Out of Sight, one of the best movies ever made.
I feel like it's like a law that he has to be like the neighbor friend in every movie that you've ever seen. pretty much.
Yeah, but and he has huge range.
Yeah.
But like, I wish he was in. You know who he's in? I've seen him in a bunch because Nora loves the Diary
of a Wimpy Kid.
Yes.
God.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies.
Okay.
Which are great movies.
Okay.
If we're going to go into recommendations, I've watched every one of those movies with Nora and I love them.
Okay.
All
I'm into
the
it.
children are great, very talented actors. And Steve Zahn is the dad. And normally he plays like, oh, I'm a crazy stoner, or
Yeah.
I'm a like hardcore cop or whatever. In this, he's just a dad. He's like, it's like he's perfectly playing a regular dad. And it's so good.
He's very charming, and on Instagram, I recommend it. That's it for Instagram.
I'm so proud of him that he's, I don't know,
Joining the social media craze.
Steve Zahn for realsies.
Yeah.
God bless him.
That's funny.
But TV wise, sorry, I had this document up. Okay, I watched, this is old. It's from 2000 and it's on Amazon Prime. It's called This Is Personal, The Hunt for the Yorkshire Ripper.
Ooh.
And it's the entire story of how long it took to catch the Yorkshire Ripper and how intense it was. And the guy, the British actor playing Detective George Oldfield, who was the guy that like headed up the case, and they ran into it's such a well done docudrama because it perfectly highlights all of the really intense anti-sex worker tone, the super intense sexism, just like a bunch of dudes that were kind of like mishandling. Women would go in to say, my daughter was attacked on a country lane and and with a hammer, it was this same guy. She recognizes him. And they'd be like, lady, he wasn't even near, like they'd be super dismissive of people coming in going, I recognize it's an amazingly documented and actually for the year 2000, very modern feeling.
So long ago.
For how, 20 years ago.
Oh God, I wrote it down.
Sake.
I'm definitely going to watch that.
It's called This Is Personal, The Hunt for the Yorkshire Ripper.
On what?
Really
on
good.
Netflix?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Or probably an Acorn type of thing. And just to say, the actor that plays the detective is named Alan Armstrong, and you've seen him in a million things. He's in every British period piece. He's so good as this detective who like basically within
Don't
the
tell
year.
us. Don't
like
spoil it.
Oh shit, that was a huge spoiler. Steven, buzz out that entire so sorry.
Can you buzz it out of my head?
I'll bleep it all.
Bleep it for me. It's ruined for me now.
Oh, ruined. Well, you kind of get the idea. He's not so healthy.
Got it. I've been watching, speaking of travesties of justice and murder, there's a new Atlanta child murders documentary on HBO that's so good in that it's infuriating, but so far it's the best one I've seen for sure. Like I've been watching them a lot, and it's to talk about the like systematic racism and like, dismissal of an entire race of people in Atlanta because of, the times and all of that. It's insane. It's horrible, but it's a really good documentary. If you don't know anything about the Atlanta child murders, or even if you do, I highly recommend it. It talks about the kids.
I can't wait to watch it. Yeah. It's, I saw the preview for it, and then there was one night where I was like, oh, I should go watch that. And it was probably in week 1 quarantine. And then I went, I can't handle it, because I could barely handle at the end of Mindhunter when that whole thing turned into those mothers from the Atlanta child murders and those women and that parade, that silent parade that they did. Like it was so affecting, and it's so upsetting. And it's just so, I it's feel like such a deep wrong.
And it needs to be known more because it's just so fucked up and dark. Speaking of, I also recommend a podcast that I've been listening to on Spotify that if you want a deep dive into what we always talk about, which is the Satanic Panic. And this one goes into a deep dive of the Satanic Panic. This podcast is called Conviction, and it's season 2 of podcast Conviction. And I had to stop it a few times. They like play some of the interviews with the children and the parents who were charged with and convicted of satanic ritual abuse, and it tells you the whole history of how it came about in the United States, and it's really fascinating and
Incredible.
horrible. So if you want to get deep, dark, and depressing during your quarantine,
and we know you do because you're here with us now.
Exactly.
Clearly, this is our jam.
Swim in our ocean.
Well, this is not deep. Well, this is different than than that. But did you watch the series Orthodox? Sorry, Stephen. Did you watch the series Unorthodox on Netflix?
But I heard it's great.
You have to watch it.
Okay.
I'll just say this, and I promise I won't spoil. I think I watched it a week ago, and I had been just binging kind of anything, like whatever came up on that reel. I'd be like, oh, I can't, whatever. It is the most compelling show. I couldn't stop watching it. I had to keep on. What was I supposed to do that day? Oh, that was the day I was supposed to bring Katrina the toilet paper. Remember, I was like, I'll bring it to you. And I was like, I'll bring it at 2. I'll bring it at 4. I'm going to bring it later on because I couldn't stop watching this show. It's so well done. It's so believable. And it's about the ultra-Orthodox Jewish community in Williamsburg and a young woman who's in that community and gets out of it.
Okay.
Tries to go and live an independent life. And it's so good. And the other morning, I call my dad and we're talking. He goes, hey, have you seen Unorthodox? And I was like, are you serious? And we have a full conversation about it. We talk all about it. And then at the end of the call, he said, good Shabbos at the end when we went to say goodbye.
Oh my God.
So hard.
Jim.
It was you and, it made me laugh so hard. Anyway.
That's amazing.
So that's actually an amazingly well done, so realistic kind of, it feels like a documentary a lot of the time. It's so good.
Okay.
Well, the other thing, I've been listening to a book. I don't think I did this one because I was going to do it as a fucking hooray, but then we've been kind of reading other people's fucking hoorays and lately. So I don't think I did this. Please tell me if I have.
Okay.
I've been listening to this book on tape called How to Be an Adult in Love by David Rico.
I don't think
Dude, this book is so good. And it's not a relationship book and it's not like a dating book or whatever. It's like basically how to like get right within yourself so that you can be with people correctly.
I love it.
It is unbelievably helpful and kind of like it's not like woo woo and it's not like dry. It's so good. And it's a little bit Buddhist. He's a Buddhist teacher, I think, but he's also like an expert. I mean, you can tell that he's like a true expert. It's amazing.
Well, if I'm going to listen to
How to Be an Adult in Love.
If I'm going to listen to any religion, it's going to be Buddhism. And that's about it. Sorry.
Right.
Sorry, fellow Jews, but
but
you've seen Unorthodox.
Make the exception for Unorthodox.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
if anyone's looking for something like that,
say the title again.
It's called How to Be an Adult in Love by David Rico, Richo is how I'm assuming it's pronounced. And he also has a couple other books that are like similar titled, but it's that one that I really stand behind.
Okay, the last one I'll do is, and I told you to watch this, Blow the Man Down, the movie.
Oh yeah, yes, I watched that.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
Wasn't it good?
Yeah. It was good.
It's a murder mystery set in a small seaside town, and it's sister-centric. I loved it. I love it.
I have to say, I get super stressed when part of the storyline is the crime happened and then people dealing with the fallout.
Yeah.
I just can't stop thinking it's me. I can't stop going, like feeling
like
the
you're in
exact
trouble.
Like, yeah, like, oh, go to the gas station. Like, it makes me feel like I have to help the TV show get this problem solved. It's insane.
It sounds like a bad dream when you're like, I did this thing in my dream. And it's on Amazon Prime and it's called Blow the Man Down. I loved it. It's definitely suspenseful.
It was very entertaining. And I believe Margot Martindale is the lady. Yes. There's some amazing actresses in that show that are completely like, every time they show up, you're like, yes, her. Yeah. Because of all these things I had written down. Wait, now I can't remember if I told this story. Now tell me if I told this story. Did I tell you guys the story? This was like the last thing I did before quarantine started when they called and said my sunglasses were ready at the. No. I didn't tell you. Okay, so this was like they had basically said, we're going to start a quarantine like tomorrow or whatever. And then I got the call that my sunglasses had come in, my prescription sunglasses had come in at the optometrist. So I was like, I'm doing it. I don't care. It was like that Friday. Remember, it was like, I think it got serious on the Friday.
Yes.
So I drove over there real fast and I went in. I looked like a lunatic, of course. I can't learn the lesson of just put on a one layer of makeup when you go out.
No, why?
But because
why would you do that?
So I go in and I'm like, because sometimes you meet people and have to interact with them.
I know, you're right.
So, but this was great because, so I go to pick them up and they always do, it's a wonderful place, full service, whatever. So they always make you sit down and try them on and they refit you with them on your face and everything.
They touch you a lot,
but I
basically.
They did. And I just wanted to like take them like with a pair of tweezers and run out the door. But I knew they'd make me do the thing. So as I'm standing there, I give my name and they're like, oh yeah, just take a seat and you'll get them fitted. And then immediately I have energy feelings from the person that's sitting on the bench behind me. But I think it's because I came in a little too hot. Like I was because I was like, I got to get out of here. And so I just figured it was judgment feelings. And I went to walk over to where they were telling me to sit. And he leaned forward and goes, I'm sorry, can I just say? And then I was like, oh, hold on a second. It's not judgment at all. And he introduced himself. His name was Drew. And he just wanted to say he was a listener and,
cool.
A fan and whatever. Super nice. I was like, thanks so much. We had a nice chat. I went and sat down. The lady put the sunglasses on me. She gets them fitted. I'm like, it's fine. That's fine, whatever. But then she has to get up and go get something. So I have to wait even longer. Yeah. So I turn and look at Drew and I'm like, these are good, right? And he's like, he stands up and then gives me a full once where he's like, oh my God, yes. Amazing, amazing.
Oh, Drew.
So I got full sunglasses approval from Drew. Thank you for being there for me. I needed you in those stressful times. It's like just a nice pre-quarantine memory that I had. One of the last interactions I had face to face with a human being.
I love it. I'm so grateful that one of my last interactions that Thursday was a fucking haircut. Otherwise, I would be the shaggy DA. It would just be like a mess over here.
I realized that I was getting super stressed out about what if the time comes where I cannot cover these gray roots and the gray roots thing starts to become real and undeniable, which it isn't. I mean, it always is a little bit, but
can't tell.
I just realized that I can support the Nigel's beauty supply place, which is right there in North Hollywood, and the best. I mean, their staff is the best. They have everything. And I was like, oh, I'll just order a bunch of stuff from them and support them because they ship.
Yeah.
And then I just got 4 bottles of my hair dye that I will have it, at least for a little while. And then it's the same idea of the restaurant thing. We're supporting small businesses. Yeah. I think those are all I've also I tried to watch Tom Cruise's The Mummy one night. And it wasn't bad. I mean, I got through part of it, but then there's those it bums me out because movies these days, especially action movies, after a while, it's just a bunch of fighting in blue light. It's just sound effects and fist fighting or swords or whatever mummy-like weapon they use. But the lighting is all blue or gray.
And they're in club scenes and stuff. And
yeah. So you're just when's this going to be over? Yeah. What are we doing now? It's funny. It's I think I'm pickier and then not that picky at all.
Do you know what Vince found out I had never seen this movie, and so he lost it, and he's like, we're watching this. Roadhouse. I had never seen it. Did you see his tweet?
I saw his tweet and I wanted to write back, please live tweet this entire experience.
It was fun.
What'd you think?
There was a lot of fighting, which I'm not a bit I don't like fighting in movies, but it's fake. But it's Patrick fucking Swayze. What could be bad?
Fighting is basically the theme of the film. Yeah, I mean you can't have Roadhouse without the fighting. Sorry.
Yeah, I want that edited out. It's a 3-minute movie just of sex and tits
of him doing Tai Chi. on his lawn. You know, he's a fighter, but he's also, much like David Rico, a Buddhist.
Well, men said it's like, people have said it's Dirty Dancing for men, essentially.
Yes.
Which it completely is. Yeah.
And that woman, Kelly, the woman that he's the doctor that he's in love with, who is like, she's a doctor and she is built like a supermodel.
Yeah.
Like she's clearly 6 feet tall and weighs 89 pounds.
Yeah.
And every time I watch that movie, I'm just like, this is why the 80s were so hard.
Right.
Because you were supposed to be basically a Danish high fashion model.
Right. And a doctor.
Plus a doctor.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're not supposed to kiss on the first date, and you're supposed to be, you know, you're supposed to steal Patrick Swayze's heart and shit.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of rules, a lot of regulations.
What's a girl to do?
It was not easy.
Yeah.
There was no meat on her bones at all. No. But other than that, it's a wonderful film.
It's a wonderful, it's a classic. Beautiful. It's
a classic, and there's some amazing, like the idea that guy, the kingpin that runs the town,
Jackie Treehorn,
is that Jackie Tree. That's right, and he's basically he needs doormen, to run his empire.
In
like that
town,
idea
in this tiny town outside of Nashville. Something like that.
Was it?
Nashville.
I always pictured it in kind of up by Sacramento.
Well, it probably was filmed there.
To me. It felt very homish to me. Homely. That's a classic. Now I want to know what other movies you haven't seen from the 80s.
I'll tell you right now. Ready? No.
Yeah, list them off. Have you seen Weird Science?
Of course, yes.
Oh, okay.
It's been a long time. UHF. Classic. That's a good one.
Have you seen Better Off Dead?
Yes.
John Cusack skiing film. Yes. I like to call it John Cusack skiing film.
More. Ask me more. Oh. I feel like there was just these like dude films back then that like if we went to the video store, my brother would want to watch them, and then my sister and I would outvote him. So I never watched Roadhouse or Top Gun. I've seen, but like it's been a long time and I think it's boring. You know.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Brother movies.
Because you guys were going more for
Dirty Dancing.
Let's see. Oh, that's right. The Dirty Dancing era.
Dirty Dancing.
Of girl films.
The Adventures of Natty Gann. Many times. We watched. Oh,
sure. Yeah.
You know. Oh, My Stepmother is an Alien. Remember that one?
No. Who's in it?
Kim Basinger is an alien and becomes the stepmom of the redheaded chick who's in American Pie and everything else.
Allison somebody.
Yes.
Allison somebody?
Yes.
Allison Hannigan.
Thank you,
Thanks, Stephen. I'm losing my edge.
All right.
Thank you, Stephen.
It's terrible. Should we do exactly right?
Network news?
Network news.
Yeah.
So Murder Squad, of course, Billy and Paul, they're diving deep into the case of the dating game killer, Rodney Alcala, who you've covered before, but this one is, I mean, they're doing a deep dive. It's really good.
Right. And their episode dropped yesterday, and they're interviewing the detective from the NYPD that basically started putting it together of the women in the pictures, being able to trace them.
Yeah.
And it's a really good deep dive.
So that came out this week, Monday. Did you know?
Yesterday.
But it's
Thursday. Oh, no, sorry. I keep saying that. Yeah. That was Monday.
Did you know that I made a guest appearance on the new episode of This Podcast Will Kill You?
I did. I saw that on social media today. How'd that go?
Great. I think great. I don't know. They're covering botulism, basically. What is it? Clostridium botulinum. So botulism, which is basically what Botox is, and they wanted someone's firsthand experience of what Botox is like to get. So I told them, but then they also, go into the details of what exactly it is. It's really interesting. And then they are still doing their big COVID-19 multi-episode dive. So those are up. They just wanted to take a little break and do something a little more fun than
I bet.
more
because
COVID-19.
Yeah, they've been working on coronavirus since it broke.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can go back and listen to all those episodes and then have some botulism fun with Georgia.
Yay.
This week. Also, it's the 50th anniversary of the Aristocats. So Stephen on the Percast, that's what their episode is about this week.
Yeah, we did like an actual movie commentary. We sat and watched the film. And we brought up, facts and looked up stuff about the movie. And it's actually based on a true story, apparently, about some rich cats from the turn of the century.
Sure.
It's based on a true story. Okay, Stephen. I mean, I don't know.
Supposedly.
I don't know. It's based on a true story of cats that could play the piano for themselves.
It's funny seeing because somebody did the Lizzo. All I could hear was Truth Hurts instead of the original song.
Oh my God, I love it.
And Zsa Zsa Gabor is the main cat, right? The main, the lady that talks like
Ava
this?
Gabor.
Ava Gabor, sorry.
One of the other sister.
Yeah, that's right. There are many talented Gabor sisters.
Sure. Okay. The Following started a new 2-part series of an unsolved murder, and they introduced the case and explained the Atlanta lore that overshadowed the death. So that's a really interesting one to follow along with.
Yeah, the follow line, people who live in the Atlanta area or I would say probably Georgia, it's so cool that they just focus on these cold cases and unsolved cases from the area.
Yeah.
It's really important.
Definitely.
I always say that about them, but it really is how I feel. And then an amazing comedian who has an amazing podcast itself, Louis Vertel. His podcast is called Keep It. And so he's on this week's episode of I Said No Gifts with Bridger Weiniger. That comes out today. Same as this. So listen to that either before this or after. I can't control what you did before this, but if you didn't already, do it after. Because Louis Vertel is hilarious. And if you don't follow him on Twitter and you're on Twitter, you absolutely should. He writes some of my very favorite jokes ever. He's so good.
Oh, I love it.
Funny. Yeah.
And then we are freaking days away from the premiere of our newest Exactly Right podcast, Bananas.
The weird news podcast that I think everybody needs right now.
Yes.
Your alternative to CNN and all the rest of it. All those weird news stories that are so great about a horse that makes friends with a town sheriff and they solve a crime or whatever. You don't get to hear about any of that anymore because it's a global meltdown. So Bananas with Kurt Braunohler and Scotty Landis, they're going to change all that.
That's right. It's going to be on every Tuesday. Please subscribe to it wherever you listen to podcasts because it really helps get exposure for them. And we want to expose ourselves to you.
It's time to expose them and us.
That's right.
To you.
Tuesday, April 21st is when that premieres. And
yay, we can't wait.
Bananas.
We've waited so long.
We have.
Yeah.
This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace.
Every successful small business starts with someone saying, I wonder if people would actually buy this.
Squarespace gives you everything you need to find out.
From consultations to events and experiences, you can showcase your skills with a customizable website designed to attract clients and grow your business.
With Squarespace's collection of cutting-edge design tools, anyone can build a beautiful, professional online presence that perfectly fits their brand or business.
Get paid on time with professional invoices and online payments. Plus, streamline your workflow with built-in appointment scheduling and email marketing tools.
Head to squarespace.com/murder for a free trial.
And when you're ready to launch, use offer code MURDER to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Goodbye. If you're always on the lookout for a great audiobook or just want help figuring out what to listen to next, there's a podcast you should know about.
It's called Earsay, the Audible and iHeart Audio Book Club, hosted by Cal Penn.
Each episode takes a closer look at some of the most talked about new audiobooks on Audible, spanning a wide range of genres from sci-fi and literary fiction to rom-coms, thrillers, and comedy.
Cal is joined by guests who dig into what these stories are about, what makes them stand out as audiobooks, and why they're connecting with listeners right now.
If you're looking for your next listen, this is a great place to start.
Listen to Earsay, the Audible and iHeart Audiobook Club on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Goodbye. The best time to think about home security is before you need it.
That's exactly why there's Simply Safe.
Traditional home security only alerts you after a break-in has already happened, and that's too late. Simply Safe is changing that.
Simply Safe's US-based live agents identify threats on your property and help deter them so intruders never get to your house.
The system is customizable so you can build one that fits your home and your specific needs.
The 24/7 professional monitoring is effective and affordable and won't lock you into a long-term contract.
I think that's what's so scary for so many people is that long-term contract. And like, what if it turns out you don't like it or need it, but they don't have that because they know you'll like it and you'll know that you need it and feel so much safer when you have it. Like at this point in my life, I would never go without a security system on my house. I just feel safer with actually having Simply Safe around.
There's a whole staff at Simply Safe that's waiting to talk to you and help you out. Right now, you can get 50% off your new system by visiting simplysafe.com/MFM.
That's half off at simplysafe.com/MFM.
There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Goodbye.
You're first this week, right, Stephen?
No, you're first. Because
No, you are.
Last week was Lake Lanier and Jet Lyles from Atlanta, 2018.
That's
How'd
right.
that hold up, Stephen? 2 years ago.
Oh, it was so fun. Spooky
Crazy.
and crazy.
I mean, I definitely remember being there, and I remember the feeling of being on stage at that show.
All right. Well, I'm first then. Okay, this is a case from Italy, from northern Italy, and it's one of their big cases that was like, really well known, and it became what they coined a genetic soap opera. So like, I think DNA heads are really into this case because it's got some fascinating DNA elements. So stick with me. This is the murder of Yara Gambirasio. So I got a couple great articles from The Guardian by Tobias Jones and another one by Rosie Scammell. And there's also a case file episode about this and Reddit and Wikipedia as well. I'm going to tell you about Brembat di Sopra. It's a small picturesque town in northern Italy. It's about an hour away from Milan. Have you been to Italy?
No,
Me neither.
always want to.
Yeah.
Always wanted to. Something's wrong. Something's wrong with me.
It's like the sun is blaring right in your face, I feel like.
I know. Hold on.
So it's close to the Swiss and Austrian borders. So it's, of course, beautiful. It makes it a really popular town for tourists. But the people who live there, it's a quiet, close-knit community. It's a little rural, a lot of the homes still use wood-burning stoves, and they raise chickens. They grow their own vegetables. And there's a lot of history it's got like ancient villas, the old beautiful steeples on the churches. There's only around 8,000 residents, and it's got like some deep rooted old school family values, one of those old school
Sure.
Italian places.
Like a village.
Yeah, like a village, and it's considered safe, and so families go to raise children there, and it's a nice little place. So it was on a chilly winter afternoon on November 26th, 2010, when 13-year-old Yara Gambirasio she left her family's home, walks over to the sports center where she practices gymnastics in order to drop off a stereo her instructor needed for an upcoming performance. She stops by, she hangs out, she drops off the stereo, and then takes off to go home. It's a quick walk. Yara is 13 years old. She still has this like baby face, but she's starting to look like a teenager, that like little preteen look, and she has a mouth full of braces, really big smile. She's got the dark curly hair. And her father, Fluvio, is an architect. Her mother, Mara, is a teacher, and Yara is the second oldest of 4 children. When she left the house, she was wearing leggings, a Hello Kitty t-shirt, and a black bomber-style jacket. She makes the quick trek to the sports center. It's less than half a mile from her house, and she then leaves, sends a quick text to her friend about meeting up that weekend, and then that's the last contact anyone has with Yara. So her mother didn't expect her to be gone, so by 7 p.m., she's already worried, and she calls Yara's cell, but it goes straight to voicemail. 20 minutes later, like this is how off it was that she was gone for even a short while longer than she should have been. 20 minutes later, Yara's father calls the police. It's like, my daughter's missing.
Yeah.
The call is taken by the magistrate, which is like a district attorney, and she's a 45-year-old woman named Letizia Ruggeri. I'm probably saying that wrong. Please excuse me.
I bet you're going to have that feeling about every single name. This is an Italian crime. So like it's a losing proposition. Let her fly. We'll hear about it.
I'm going to guess it's Ruggieri.
How about say it with your fingers up in the air?
Ruggieri.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so Letizia Ruggieri is a 45-year-old former policewoman, and she's known to be smart and tough. She got a great reputation when she was fighting the Cosa Nostra in Sicily as a policewoman. Yeah.
Jesus.
No joke.
She's fighting the original mafia.
Yeah. She's like,
Hi.
what's up?
What's up?
She's an unconventional woman for the area she lives in now. She's a single mother, which is rare in that culture. She has 5 earrings in one ear and plays the guitar and rides a beat up old Vespa, which sounds amazing. And she also has a black belt in karate. So
this is a Netflix series. It's like, it already is. I feel like I've already watched it. Okay.
Yeah. She's been a magistrate for almost 15 years. So she knows what's going on when she gets this call. She doesn't fuck around. And she within minutes, she dispatches both the state police officers and the carabinier, which is the military police. So immediately they send them out. And they go to the small town. They start the search. The fire department starts scanning the riverbeds. Police are looking at nearby fields. They check the entire sports center where she was at, but they don't find anything. And unfortunately, the surveillance cameras at the sports center that day were all out of order, which is just like a really awful coincidence. And Ruggieri calls in tracker dogs, and they follow Yara's scent to a small hamlet nearby called Mapello. And soon they discovered that the last signals from Yara's cell phone pinged in Mapello at 6:49 p.m. that night. So they thought the dogs would follow her track back to her house. Instead, they went the other way to this random town next door, and where her phone had pinged that night. So it pinged just minutes after she texted her friend after leaving the sports center. So they figured that she had to be in a car to have been moving that quickly and gone from town to town. So someone probably picked her up in a car. And over the next few days, Ruggieri and her team question every member of Yara's family. Of course, they look for problem signs and, hidden secrets in the family. They don't find anything. So then the investigators focus their time tracing the owners of all the cell phones which had passed through Mapello on the day of Yara's disappearance, which I guess is a technology they have. And it's approximately 15,000 cell phones that had gone through that town that day. So they also put wiretaps on hundreds of phones, and it's a record for any investigation in Italy's history. Tens of million calls are intercepted by law enforcement, and police also bug the family's home to track conversations, but they don't find anything. And meanwhile, Yara's family locks themselves into their home. They're really secretive, and Italian TV is dominated by, it's called cronache nere, which is crime news. Like, they're more obsessed with it than we are in a lot of instances. And so now the national news cameras descend on this small town and on this little street where Yara's family lived. So they plead for privacy, but the case blows up around the country. And there's rumors that Yara's disappearance is a retaliation abduction because the media reports that Yara's father had testified against a mafia member in Naples. But eventually those rumors are shot down. So none of it's true. So on the afternoon of February 26th, 2011, 3 months after Yara's disappearance, a middle-aged man is flying his new remote little airplane in the town of Cignolo di Isola, just 6 miles south of Yara's home. He's in an open field. It's all industrial and empty lots. So he's like, this is a great place to fly my little remote plane. The plane malfunctions. He lands it in some tall weeds. You know where this is going. He goes to pick up the plane and sees something that looks like a pile of rags. And then he spots a pair of shoes, and the clothing are all still on Yara's body. I know. Her body.
Also, if that were in a TV show, I'd be like, that's so cheesy.
Yeah, it seems real. 1 in a million chances, maybe less than that. But yeah. So
unlikely, and yet
happened.
That's how it is.
I mean, get ready for the rest of this fucking story because it's the most unlikely. Okay. It's like a fucking movie. It's crazy. Her body's frozen, but she does show signs of decomposition. So she's been there for a while. But they say the field had already been searched days after her disappearance. So police speculate that the killer dumped her body there, later, but it doesn't really seem that way. They just might have missed it, even by a couple feet. They could have just not seen it. So that's possible as well. Crime scene investigators find Yara's iPod and house keys with her, as well as the SIM card and battery for her phone, but the phone itself is missing. So the killer knew to stop the tracing of it and left those things behind, which is, so cunning, it seems. The autopsy is conducted by Italy's most famous forensic pathologist, Professor Cristina Catano, and she discovers traces of lime in Yara's respiratory passages and the presence of what's called jute, which is a vegetable fiber that's used to make rope. And they find that on her clothing. Yara hadn't been raped, but there's signs that there was an attempted sexual assault and maybe she had fought back. And there's blows on her body, a head injury, neck injury, and at least 6 stab wounds are found. But it's determined she didn't die from any of that awfulness. She died from exposure to the cold weather after she lost consciousness from her injuries. I know. It's heartbreaking. You just think of this 13-year-old girl.
When you described what she was wearing, a Hello Kitty t-shirt and a leather jacket, that's preteens in a nutshell, where you're, they're in between two worlds. So it's like, yeah, you're old enough to walk there by yourself, right, but you're still young enough that you are wearing a Hello Kitty shirt and that someone could convince you to do something you absolutely shouldn't do.
Totally. Maybe. You see someone maybe kind of familiar, and so they're not a stranger. And she had her iPod with her, it's just like she was a young teen.
It was like one of the first, probably she gets to do stuff like this.
Yeah.
Now. She's 13. I get to walk there by myself. She probably fought hard to be able to have a little independence like that.
Right. And it's just down the road. Her parents probably weren't that worried about it. It's so sad.
Right.
The presence of the lime and the rope fiber suggests to the investigators that the killer might be in the building and construction trade. And the forensic team retrieves 2 DNA samples from Yara's phone battery and from her black gloves, but neither match any samples the authorities have on record. So they can't find who this DNA is from. 2 months later, in April, the commander of the Scientific Investigations Department in Parma calls Ruggieri and tells her they found male DNA on Yara's underwear. And so the team then calls the murder suspect. They have a really good DNA sample, and they start to call the suspect Ignato 1, which means unknown one. Just so creepy. A month later, Yara's body is returned to her family. Her funeral takes place on a May morning in the sports center where she was training to be a gymnast. There's thousands of onlookers there. It's a white coffin with a huge bouquet of flowers. And the Italian president is there, gives a few words of condolence. And there's so many people, they can't all fit inside the sports center, and they watch the funeral outside on a jumbo screen in the parking lot. So people were just heartbroken over this. I think it's one of those stuff like that doesn't happen here. So after the funeral, the police announced that they have a solid DNA evidence and they'll spare no expense looking for the killer. And so the investigation is in high gear. They continue to wiretap calls. They ask people to voluntarily submit DNA samples, and friends and classmates and, strangers come forward to give their DNA. And it's believed that 22,000 people from the area volunteered their DNA.
Wow.
And also each phone user that's found important that day, how they had traced all the phones that were in that area, they test their DNA samples as well, but they don't get any hits. The cost to test all this DNA is huge, and the investigation becomes one of the most expensive manhunts in Italian history. According to some sources, the equivalent of what in today's money would be almost $5 million was spent for the entire investigation. So then Ruggiero has this idea to turn her sights onto places in the area where Yara's body was found, thinking that the killer would have been familiar with it. And so right down the street from there is a nightclub, and it's the translation of what it's called is Quicksand. And so in 2001, in the spring, Ruggieri assigns investigators outside Quicksand on busy Friday and Saturday nights to take DNA samples from people going into the club.
Wow.
Yeah. So this fucking thing works. and they get a break in the case from quicksand. One of the samples from quicksand is very similar to what's being called the unknown one, though it's not exact. So this man isn't the killer, but he's a relative of the killer. The man who gave the sample is 20-year-old Damiano Geranoni, but he's excluded as a suspect. It's not his DNA. He's got a legit alibi, but geneticists are convinced he's a close relative of the murderer. So in a crazy coincidence, Damiano's mother worked for 10 years as domestic help at Yara's home, but that's ruled out as a lead. That's just a fucking coincidence.
Wow.
Instead, they dig deeper into Damiano's father's side of the family, and they find out that his father is one of 11 siblings. So Ruggerio's team spends months recreating the Geranoni family tree. They go as far back as 1716. So this is like,
oh my God.
I know. This is that familial DNA thing that we're now so familiar with. They're able to clear 10 aunts and uncles of Damiano's 11 aunts and uncles, but one uncle they're not able to clear, and that is Uncle Giuseppe. So they're like, oh, this might be our guy. Turns out he died in 1999, so it couldn't have been him.
Okay.
Because this is 2010. But they get in touch with Uncle Giuseppe's widow, and she's like, here's a box of Giuseppe's old documents. I had kept them. You can fucking do what you will with them. And in there, they find a postcard with a stamp that Giuseppe had licked. So they test that DNA. And the results on that come back, and geneticists are convinced that Giuseppe is the biological father of the murderer. Giuseppe was a bus driver in the 60s and 70s. He had married a woman named Laura. They had a normal marriage. They had 3 children, a girl and 2 boys. And they exhume Giuseppe's body. They test his DNA. They confirm that he is definitely the father of the murderer. So they're like, great, it's got to be one of his 2 sons. One of his sons happens to be a known drug user. They're like, here we go. But when they test Giuseppe's children's DNA, none of them are the killer. They don't match any of his children. That's when they realize that if the murderer is really the son of the late Giuseppe, then the only explanation is somewhere out there is his illegitimate child.
Oh, right.
Yeah. The plot thickens. So now Ruggieri is on the hunt for what would have now been a middle to old-aged woman who 30 or 40 years ago would have had an affair with a married Giuseppe and given birth to a boy who then went on to murder Yara.
Ooh.
So they're looking legitimately for a fucking unknown person. It's so creepy. So the team
and on like a secret person.
Like, and he's dead, so he can't tell you who it is. They can't
he can't admit to it, and clearly the wife doesn't know.
Right.
Like that's okay.
The wife doesn't know. Their children don't know. It's just crazy.
And it's sorry to interrupt, but and it's also like a plot point from a movie of I'm the illegitimate child. My father never was a correct father to me, and now I've become a serial killer. Like,
doesn't it?
Again,
it sounds so far fetched, but it's fucking true. The team investigated his former bus routes after some colleagues remember him as a womanizer, and Giuseppe had even confessed to a coworker of having gotten a woman, quote, in trouble, which we know what that means. And as the investigation drags on throughout 2013, the public then becomes aware that an elderly woman is being looked for the murder of a teenager. And when they find out why, I mean, they lose their shit, and the whole town is just taken over by the media. It's like a real life soap opera, people say.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so because of this investigation, everyone's suddenly looking at each other, and other infidelities come out. And in 2 small villages, 5 illegitimate children are discovered.
Oh my God.
Like separately from any of this.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is like a movie where it's just like, don't get into it. Let sleeping dogs lie. It's like, no, we have to find out. And then it's like, when you start getting into stuff like this.
Yeah.
So it's like people can't keep secrets. There's many more secrets than people know. I mean, everyone learned that 23andMe lesson.
Yeah.
When everyone's like, it'll be fun. And then it's like, oh my God, my father's not my real father. Like,
oh my God.
We have all heard those stories.
Yeah, definitely. So The investigators scour local records. Had been some homes for unwed mothers at the time. They can't find anyone who would have been Giuseppe's lover. So they figure that the woman they're looking for actually probably had been married as well, which is how she hid her pregnancy, because in the 60s and 70s, that was not okay to be pregnant unless you were married. So she probably was married, they figured. And divorce was only legalized in Italy in 1970. And until that time, many couples stayed together, even if there was infidelities going on. So DNA swabs from about 500 women that would have been the right age were and could have been the birth mother were tested, including former classmates and colleagues and shopkeepers in the neighborhood, and just that would have known Giuseppe, the deceased bus driver, in the late 60s. And they also, that doesn't lead anywhere, they also interview people who knew him. But because it's this old school area in Italy, people won't fucking talk. No one's a rat, you know?
I would say all of Italy might be an old school area. When you kind of look at it, it's the old country, really, where it's just like,
yeah, we have a way of doing things.
Yeah,
and that's just how it's done.
would think.
Yeah, for sure.
From the movies I've seen.
Yeah. But eventually, one person talks reluctantly, and she names the woman that he had an affair with in June of 2014. Her name is Esther Arzuffi. So Esther was a neighbor of Giuseppe's in Ponte Selva in the late 60s. In 1966 at 19, she had married her husband from a nearby village. But it's so sad. The husband is this quiet, reserved man. He had been orphaned at a young age. He had psoriasis and he was a depressed person. So he kind of was that personality type. But Esther is outgoing and lively, and she wears short skirts, which, is so taboo then. She dyes her hair and she gets a job at the textile factory a few miles away and takes the bus to work every day. Mm-hmm. Esther denies the affair and had left Ponte Selva in 1970. And in the autumn of 1970, she gave birth to twin boys, a boy and a girl, supposedly fathered by her depressed husband. But Ruggeri's team immediately check the DNA samples they have on file and find Esther's DNA had been tested. They had compared Esther's DNA to Yara's DNA and not to the murderer's DNA. So they go back and test her DNA and are able to confirm that she is the mother of the unknown one, the murderer.
Oh my God.
Uh-huh. Esther's son is Massimo Bossetti. His middle name is Giuseppe, like his secret father.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh. He's now 42 years old. He's a builder. And remember, the evidence on Yara's body was speculated to come from a builder or someone in the construction field. He's married with 3 children. He lives in Mapello, which is a hamlet near Yara's hometown where the last signal from Yara's cell phone had been recorded the day of her disappearance. Remember, the dogs had followed that scent to that town. He lives there.
Yep. Yeah.
So there's this really, striking, now that we know who he is, scary photo of him. He's this slim, short man. He's got these piercing, like, blue eyes, like yours. And he's got this peroxided goatee, like pencil goatee. And
like mine.
Like yours. He loves to party. He's nicknamed the Animal by his friends. If he were to be played by someone, and this is just the first thing that came to my mind, but like an older Aaron Carter is what I got.
Oh, okay. So he's kind of like chiseled face, like he's classically good looking.
Aaron Carter?
Oh, Aaron Carter from the band?
No, Aaron Carter, yes, from Backstreet Boys' little brother.
Little brother. Oh, sorry. I thought you meant Aaron.
Who am I thinking of? The guy handsome?
Aaron Eckhart.
Thank you, Aaron Eckhart.
No. You remember Aaron Carter from like the early 2000s, and he was like dating Ashley Simpson or whatever? Oh,
I was drunk face down in a ditch somewhere. I was there for none of that. I'm so sorry.
I'll tell you this. There's traces of meth in that face.
Okay. An Italian Aaron Eckhart, who couldn't look more Danish or something like, Nordic.
I don't know. I want you to look at the photo now because you probably have someone better, but that's just the first thing I saw. Because he's so thin. So Ruggeri is like, fuck yeah, we got this murderer. On June 15th, 2014, the way that they get him is they set up a fake roadblock with breathalyzing tests in the town, and the police stop Massimo, and they pretend that the machine, the breathalyzer test doesn't work the first time, so they get they test him twice. So they get 2 good samples. They send it for overnight testing, and the results show that he's an exact match for unknown one. He is the killer of Yara.
Wow.
Massimo Bassetti. So the afternoon of the confirmed match, military police go to the construction site where Massimo's working. They arrest him, and the Italian Minister of Internal Affairs announces the arrest on Twitter. But I think it's just this huge news. Massimo has no prior criminal record. He claims he's innocent. He says that the DNA is fabricated. And his wife makes a statement that her husband was home with her and her kids the night of the murder having dinner. But phone records show that Massimo's phone was present in Yara's town on the night of her disappearance and had been switched off at 5:45, which is a short time before she disappeared. And it wasn't turned on again until 7:43 the next morning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So for Ruggieri, the arrest is this, huge success for her. It had been 4 years of investigative work, and she had endured a shit ton of criticism, including sexism, for alleged incompetence, and now she's celebrated for her brilliance. Massimo's trial starts in the summer of 2015, a year after his arrest, and according to prosecutors, they had found internet searches on Massimo's computer for child pornography, but the Reddit community and bloggers say that's not true. After a year-long trial, Massimo is found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. And the fallout for this case is crazy. Esther's husband, Gianni, Esther's the mother of this illegitimate child. The husband gets diagnosed with cancer and finds out that none of his 3 children are biologically his.
Oh, no.
Uh-huh. And then Giuseppe's widow, Laura, is also shocked to find out that her late husband fathered children while having an affair. So this destroys families. Massimo's twin sister takes the brunt of public hate. She's literally beat up twice.
Oh, my God.
Because her brother is a killer, which is horrendous. And Esther, Massimo's mother, still denies that she's ever been unfaithful to her husband. She just won't. She's like, nope. Yara's.
I mean, look, once you're at that point, she's probably in that position where she's like, all she can do is do denial. Because admitting it opens the floodgates to worst case scenario.
And Massimo's wife is still by his side. She totally denies that he had anything to do with it as well. And Yara's family, meanwhile, has remained totally private. Yara's mother created a gymnastics trophy that's named after Yara to give out to what would have been fellow gymnasts. Yara is buried between her 2 grandparents in a cemetery just across the road from her gym. And her headstone has this photograph of her. She's wearing a white bandana and she looks, like a young gymnast. She's adorable. And all around the grave are mementos that are left by her friends, including gym shoes, rag dolls, and little friendship bracelets that they all left for her. And that is the murder of 13-year-old Yara Gambirasio.
Unbelievable.
Twists and turns.
Wow. Twists and turns, but also how they did that detective and that prosecutor did an amazing job.
Yeah. So Letizia Ruggieri, she was forward thinking. She was super smart. And it's pretty incredible that she was able to find the killer with not a lot to go on.
Yeah. Amazing job. Wow. That was great.
Yeah. Right. Thank you. Thanks.
If you're always on the lookout for a great audiobook or just want help figuring out what to listen to next, there's a podcast you should know about.
It's called Earsay, the Audible and iHeart Audio Book Club, hosted by Cal Penn.
Each episode takes a closer look at some of the most talked about new audiobooks on Audible, spanning a wide range of genres from sci-fi and literary fiction to rom-coms, thrillers, and comedy.
Cal is joined by guests who dig into what these stories are about, what makes them stand out as audiobooks, and why they're connecting with listeners right now.
If you're looking for your next listen, this is a great place to start.
Listen to Earsay, the Audible and iHeart Audiobook Club on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Goodbye. The best time to think about home security is before you need it.
That's exactly why there's Simply Safe.
Traditional home security only alerts you after a break-in has already happened, and that's too late. Simply Safe is changing that.
Simply Safe's U.S.-based live agents identify threats on your property and help deter them so intruders never get to your house.
The system is customizable so you can build one that fits your home and your specific needs.
The 24/7 professional monitoring is effective and affordable and won't lock you into a long-term contract.
I think that's what's so scary for so many people is that long-term contract. And what if it turns out you don't like it or need it, But they don't have that because they know you'll like it and you'll know that you need it and feel so much safer when you have it. Like at this point in my life, I would never go without a security system on my house. I just feel safer with actually having Simply Safe around.
There's a whole staff at Simply Safe that's waiting to talk to you and help you out. Right now, you can get 50% off your new system by visiting simplysafe.com/MFM.
That's half off at simplysafe.com/MFM.
There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Goodbye. Cheap Caribbean's Jet Set July sale is here.
Right now, save $200 on vacation packages of 4 nights or more with promo code 200BEACH.
Whether you're dreaming of Cancun, Jamaica, or the Dominican Republic, your next vacay just got more affordable.
Don't let summer pass you by without the beach.
Use promo code 200BEACH and get more sand for your dollar.
Head to cheapcaribbean.com today to book your beach vacay.
Goodbye.
So I'm going to start mine with a hometown email. So I'm looking on my phone one night on the couch, and I stumble onto basically like the crime blotter of a California newspaper. I can't remember which one now, but it basically was just kind of like this. Here's this case, this case, this case. And I would just basically have a paragraph, and I just started taking pictures of the paragraphs with the information in them because I was like, I could do murders out of these.
Yeah.
Just these like paragraphs. One of them was about a woman in the mid 80s. I think it was 1988. And her body was found in West Petaluma in a trough in a field. And they ended up finding 2 men murdered her, and they found both of them.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It took till the mid 2000s to find the killers, but when DNA came around, they found them and they went to jail.
Wow.
So there was a bunch of these little like snippet stories of these cases that I had never heard of, where I was like, whoa, these are good. So this is from that internet search I did. But then Jay found this email from a murderino named Christina R. And she wrote in, this is a very long email. So Christina, I'm sorry, I did definitely edit you down because this thing goes on. She's a great writer, can tell a story. But basically, we're going to get into it this way. Being born and raised in Las Vegas, there aren't a ton of hometown murders that haven't already received a fuck ton of media attention. But my mom told me a story when I was little that has stuck with me for nearly 20 years. And it wasn't until I discovered your fucking awesome podcast that I decided to reach out to her and verify that it was real and not just some boogeyman story she made up to keep me from running around alone after dark as a kid. It turns out every bit of it was true. And she was more than happy to give me all the grisly details now that I'm older. In 1981, about a year before my parents were married, my dad and his best friend got new hunting rifles. They needed to get the rifles sighted before they could take them out hunting, so they decided to go to an area in the desert on the outskirts of town near Lake Mead, where people are allowed to go shooting a safe distance away from the city. My mom and her friend, my dad's buddy's wife, decided to bring along their pistols and do target practice while the guys did their manly rifle bullshit.
Sounds awesome.
The men's
I hope they
stuff
brought
is
beer.
I know, right? Just go shoot in the desert. Hell yeah. They all drove out together in the same car, and the guys went off on their own with their rifles. My mom and her friend were then alone near a ditch and decided to set up a row of cans along the edge to shoot at. My mom's friend was setting up, but she immediately stopped and walked back over to my mom with what was described as, quote, the weirdest look on her face. All the friend said was, "There's somebody down there." When my mom started to casually suggest that it might be someone else out there hiking or something, her friend grabbed her arm and said, "No, you have to come and see this." When my mom went over to the ditch and looked down, she saw the body of a girl lying on her back, her legs crossed and her arms resting above her head. The creepiest part was that her dress had been pulled up over her head, covering her face and exposing her from the waist down. From where they stood, they could tell that she was a child. Naturally, my mom and her friend proceeded to freak out because this was the age before cell phones. They had to wait for their dudes to come back to show them what they found. And again, because of no cell phones, they knew that someone would have to actually drive back into town to get the police. Somehow it was decided that the friends would take the car and return with the police, while my mom and dad had to stay next to the ditch to make sure that no one came along and disturbed the body in the meantime. It began to get dark while they waited, and my mom said that because both of them were so scared, they kept laughing uncontrollably out of sheer nervousness. Hella romantic, right? Because they were on a date. They were.
My God.
Yeah, they were. It was like a hang.
Oh, how awful.
Eventually, the cops show up and do their CSI song and dance. They told my mom's friend she may eventually be needed in court if and when the killer is caught. Flash forward 6 goddamn years to 1987. The case of the girl my mom and her friend found was still unsolved, but the girl had been identified as 12-year-old Sheila Jo Keister. It was still unsolved, though they did know that she had been raped and strangled to death.
Oh my God.
Okay, so I'm going to stop there in the email.
Okay.
That isn't the end of the email.
Wow.
But I'm going to stop there and I'm going to start. Sorry, Stephen.
Good start. Intrigued. Horrified.
So now we're in, it's 1987. And, I'll just say the sources for this. Murderpedia, the LA Times, sfgate.com, which I love, by the way.
Oh, it's so good.
SFGate is such a good website and they have so much true crime stuff. AP News, and all the way from Placerville, California, the Mountain Democrat.
Hey.
What's up, Placerville?
Hey, Mountain Democrat.
Okay, so it's Thursday, May 14th, 1987. And 69-year-old Maybelle Mabs Martin is the owner of the Showcase Finishing and Modeling School in Reno, Nevada.
Oh, what a time and a place to be alive.
It's the idea in the late 80s. Remember when like the Barbizon School of Modeling, like, all that stuff kicked up in the late 80s, being a model became a thing that was like right within your reach. If you could just
train to be a model or look like one. That was
or just look like
that
one.
was their tagline.
Yeah.
It
became a thing. Yeah. And so Mabs Martin opened up the Showcase Finishing and Modeling School in Reno. But she wasn't, she was a visionary. She wasn't just jumping on the trend. She had been running this agency for years. Her client list included 1960s Miss America Linda Lee Mead and the actress Donna Douglas, who went on to play Ellie Mae Clampett in the Beverly Hillbillies.
Well, shit.
So, yeah, Mabs was a star maker.
Yeah. Styling and profiling. Essentially.
And basically, she is on Thursday, May 14th. She's holding an audition for an anti-drug commercial. So the man that's in charge of this shoot, he's introduced himself to her as a producer. He's from Georgia. His name's Mark. And he arrives to the audition dressed in a really nice suit. He's got business cards for his production company. He's total professional.
Yeah.
So Mabs loves this idea that she could be getting some of her girls into an anti-drug commercial. She's a member of Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and she's very against drugs. This was like late 80s. This was prime DARE time.
Just
this was
so
like
you know.
when DARE was invented. Yeah.
Nancy Reagan.
This was
fucking
Nancy Reagan
humping that DARE.
getting all up into everyone's business.
That's
about
right.
drugs. But also, the first time I was offered pot when I was a freshman in high school, I burst into tears because of my indoctrination to the DARE to keep children off drugs insanity. Where I remember my friend's older sister being like, "But Karen, but you're fine drinking. Drinking's fine with you. But this is," and I was like, "It's drugs."
It's almost like
hilarious.
they brainwashed us into thinking drugs were bad as a way to separate us from poor people and mass incarceration of Black people.
That's right. So Mabs thinks this is a good cause, but she also thinks it's an amazing opportunity because that could be a nationwide commercial. She could really get one of her girls in and, have them break big like she had with Ellie Mae Clampett. So she brings in a selection of her best young models to audition, and Mark chooses the two he wants to cast, 14-year-old Alicia Toma from Reno and 12-year-old Monica Burge from Sparks, Nevada. So the shoot is set for 2 days later, that Saturday morning, and Mark and Mabs make a plan to meet in the parking lot of the Nugget, which is the casino in South Lake Tahoe.
Hell yeah.
Right? It's the big one you see off Highway 50 when you're coming into South Lake Tahoe. So once these plans are set, Mark leaves, and Mabs calls the two young ladies to let them know that they got this video.
Huge.
I guess she would call it.
Yeah.
She makes arrangements to drive the two girls to the shoot, and she also asks her friend, 67-year-old Dorothy Dottie Walsh, to come along for the ride. So it's an hour away from, they live in Reno. South Lake Tahoe's an hour drive. So she's basically like, come with us and, make make a day of it. So in the morning of Saturday, May 16th, Alicia and Monica arrive at Mab's home at 7:45 in the morning. They get into her Chrysler Fifth Avenue. Ugh. They all go, right? You can just see all of this.
Yeah.
And also Mab's is exactly what you think she looks like. She almost looks like a character on Falcon Crest.
Yeah.
Like really put together older lady with like a outfit that'd be like a skirt with a matching jacket and then a little hat.
But big old shoulder pads, a nice coral lipstick that's like overlined mouth, coral lipstick.
Yeah.
Pearls.
She's still working it. She works it on the daily.
Yeah. And she has daytime pearls and nighttime pearls, and she's wearing her daytime pearls.
She's about women being beautiful.
Yeah.
Why not just be beautiful? It says.
Embrace.
Putting words in her mouth.
Embrace your.
Let go of the rest of it and just be beautiful. Okay, so they get into the Fifth Avenue, they swing by, they grab Dottie Walsh, and they start their hour-long drive to South Lake Tahoe. Mavs has told Alicia and Monica's parents that she expected they'd be home around 12:30 the same day. Mm-hmm. So this was just go, shoot this thing, come back, and almost it all takes place in the morning, not even into the afternoon. But when the afternoon rolls around and no one is back yet and they haven't heard from anybody, the girls' families call the police. And unlike almost every other story we ever tell on the show, the Reno police immediately begin the search for the missing girls and women. Immediately.
Good.
This is the turnaround of this crime is so fast, it's mind-boggling. So for the next 3 days, the Reno and South Lake Tahoe authorities, they work with 7 other California and Nevada law enforcement agencies to scour the South Lake Tahoe area for the 4 missing people.
Wow.
Which is like, when does that ever happen?
No.
They basically get everyone involved, including the FBI. Like FBI is in on day one. Everybody gets called immediately.
Is that because the South Lake Tahoe's on the California side and the Reno's on the Las Vegas side? Reno's on the Nevada side. So FBI
on the Nevada side.
Yeah.
I mean, they must, yes, because they're so close that they're probably used to working across state lines. It's not as big of a deal as in some places. But I would say that the story we usually hear is where the city where the people are missing from, they don't let people come into their jurisdiction, and it gets very like territorial. And it seems like the way this story goes, South Lake Tahoe, PD and FBI just were like, everybody come and help us now.
Wow.
And that's the reason this is a 3-day story.
Holy shit. Okay.
As opposed to the huge.
Yeah.
So bravo, South Lake Tahoe PD. Okay. And FBI, but
and Reno
the feds, they get everything.
Everyone.
Reno's there too. Okay. They start contacting other modeling agencies in the area to see if anyone has heard of this man or know anything about the man allegedly producing this quote unquote anti-drug video. And they get a lot of hits. A lot of these young women, they get brought in and interviewed, and they remember a weird guy trying to recruit models for, some say an anti-drug video, some say a drug rehabilitation video.
Oh no.
So it sounds, don't know if the story always was consistent. A makeup artist named Gaynell Wadsworth, who worked at Reno's Aviance Profile Modeling Agency. I checked that twice because I'm like, Aviance sounds like it's a bird modeling agency. I was just like, let's make sure.
We have the most beautiful cockatoos, and
look at this gorgeous parakeet. It doesn't do drugs either. So this makeup artist who worked at one of the modeling agencies told police that they had turned the man down because, quote, he was not the kind of person we want to do business with. He was very shady, shaky, and sweaty.
Oh, God.
He smelled bad. Yeah. He smelled bad. He never looked me in the face. She also reports that he seemed to get nervous when they mentioned that their models who are minors or underage are always required to have their parents on shoots with them. And so that like his reaction to that news made her realize that this was not somebody they needed to work with.
Sure.
But authorities' big break comes when one of the young models who auditioned at Mab's studio says she remembers the man and he stood out to her because she found him especially weird. So she made it a point to memorize his license plate.
Oh my, one of the children?
Yes, one of the young girl models who was also clearly a high power murderino in 1987.
Is she today? Please call
Where is
us.
she? Standing ovation.
Oh,
standing ovation.
My
No,
God.
she didn't write it down. She memorized it. So she told them it was a vanity plate. This was how it was easy to memorize. It was a vanity plate that read something like TV teen.
Ew.
So when the officers take that and look it up, they don't find a match. There's no plate like that in California or Nevada records. But then one of the investigators realizes that there is a car dealership in South Lake Tahoe called Tivetan. It's spelled TVETEN. So it's essentially a word jumble of the same phrase.
Her brain took a picture of it, and then a couple of the letters got mixed up. But she was fucking right. I am amazed.
She was right.
That is amazing.
She was right. And also it was that thing where that guy's weird. I'm going to clock his license plate. And then she gets it. I mean, it's amazing.
I'm blown away.
So good. The detective who also made the connection where it's okay, it might not be that exact thing, but it could be this.
Yeah.
So they go down to that car dealership. And they speak to the owner, who tells them he had actually loaned a dealership license plate to his friend, 28-year-old Herb Coddington.
Herbert.
So,
you pervert.
Right? They also show him a sketch of Mark, the producer, based on the descriptions given by the models that they interviewed. And this guy looks at it and says, yeah, that's my friend Herb.
Oh, no.
So Mark, the producer, is not a real person. It's Herb Coddington. Okay. So all of that is enough to get the police an arrest warrant, and they take it and track down Herb Coddington's most recent address. So on May 18th, 1987, the police and the FBI arrive at Herb Coddington's double-wide trailer. They knock on the front door, and instead of answering, all the lights go out. This is the evening time. So the police pull back. They reassess of that's not good. I think somebody ended up calling inside to try to talk to him. And then they eventually just decide they break the door down. Inside, Herb Coddington is immediately and very easily taken down, even though there's tons of weapons inside this double wide.
Shit.
They break down the bedroom door and they find Alicia and Monica locked inside alive, scared to death, definitely traumatized, but alive.
Oh my God.
Then the police and the FBI go into the other bedroom on the other side and find the bodies of Mabs and Dottie wrapped in garbage bags laying on the floor. Oh. They've both been murdered.
So the two older ladies are murdered and the two children are alive in a closet. Holy shit.
Yes. It's not a closet. It's a bedroom that he's covered in carpeting. So essentially, he's soundproofed one of the bedrooms in his double wide. Yeah. So Herbert Coddington's immediately taken into custody and charged with kidnapping and murder. Alicia and Monica are reunited with their parents, but police bring them in to ask them what happened and, basically tell their stories. So this is what the girls tell them, that basically on their drive to South Lake Tahoe, it usually takes an hour, but getting into Tahoe is uphill, really windy. Monica got car sick. Mabs had to pull over for her. So they're a little bit late. They finally get to the Nugget. Dottie waits with the girls inside the casino restaurant while Mabs looks for Mark. They meet up in the parking lot, and Mark basically says, we're going to go shoot in a park nearby. So I have the wardrobe. We can get the girls to come. I have a place where they can change their clothes and we can stop there and then we'll just go to this park. And Mabs notices that as opposed to how nice and professional he looked at the audition, he now is wearing sweats and a t-shirt and he's exceptionally sweaty and he smells. Yeah. So they get into Mab's car, all five of them. The women are in the front, and Herb gets into the back seat with Alicia and Monica. Alicia makes note he smells and is sweaty and is it's a bummer. He directs Mabs to the Tahoe Verde trailer park and to one of the double wides. He has her park in the carport. He walks them into the trailer. He points to the room where he says the girls can change into their shoot wardrobe. Once they're in that room, they see that the dressing room is actually a bedroom that's been soundproofed with plywood and carpeting. So how incredibly creepy that feeling would be.
That moment where your stomach drops and you're like, this was a mistake.
Right. And this is a time, like, it's so easy for us to look back from 2020 and all the stories we know and all the stories we've all told each other and heard, where it's like, it's so typical. But, back then, this was still in that time where a lot of people didn't know about stuff like this. So, like, the idea that somebody would be able to pose as a professional producer, very believably could play that part, and you'd be like all along where it's like, why would you ever bring those girls anywhere but to a shoot? Like, the place, I mean,
there's so many whys.
Easy to say now.
Exactly. There's so many whys, but I totally understand why these women went along with that, why the parents went, like, it was how it was back then. It was normal.
It was totally how it was.
They had trust and no clue, and it's just, and it could happen today, and you just
could absolutely happen.
You make the wrong decision and you regret it. It doesn't mean
And also, Mabs clearly had been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
She knew her stuff. So, but the thing I think of is this, in this moment, because what happens is when they're standing there looking, before anyone can do anything or ask a question or say anything, Herb just punches Elisa. He cold cocks her in the face and basically drops her. And immediately it's on. Like, immediately he turns and starts beating these old women. They're on the ground almost immediately. He then zip ties. He ties up Alicia and Monica, covers their heads with their jackets. So so they can't see what he's about to do. But Alicia she's only partially covered, so she sees everything.
Oh no.
And essentially, Mark ties up Mab's arms and legs, and then he cinches an electrical cord zip tie around her neck. And she's pleading for him, saying, it's too tight, I can't breathe. And he's basically strangling her. So she very soon slumps over, and then he moves on to Dottie, who's now begging for her life. And these girls witness all of this.
God.
He then proceeds to strangle Dottie with the zip tie as well. Then he wraps both of those women's bodies in garbage bags and puts them in the master bedroom. Then he goes back to Alicia and Monica in the guest room and asks if they're okay. Alicia tells police he kept asking us if our feet and hands were okay because he said he didn't want us going home without any fingers or toes. Yeah. So he locks them in this room and he goes out into the living room, and they can hear he's watching MTV. And they're just sitting there waiting. He comes back a little while later with a .45 caliber handgun with a silencer on it, and tells the girls that if he wanted to kill them, he could have done it already. And then says, because I have this silencer. Then he gives them the weirdest dinner of all time, which is grapefruit raisins and a jug of water. And then basically like leaves them for the night.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So the girls wake up the next morning and they can hear him grunting in the living room. And it turns out that he's working out.
Oh, not thank God, but Jesus.
It just horrifying.
Yeah.
And also, this will just up it one more. My least favorite detail in this story. No, not least. There's so many to dislike. But he's cut out 2 eye holes in the door so that he doesn't have to open the door all the way. He can just look in at them.
Oh, my God.
It's horrifying. So he basically lets them out into the living room, and now he's got a beanie on and a turtleneck pulled up to hide his face. And a little bit of his hair is sticking out, and it's been dyed orange. So clearly they think he's trying to change his appearance.
Right.
And he plays a Jane Fonda workout video, and then they all work out to it.
What?
So then he then puts the girls back into the carpeted room and puts pillowcases over their heads. And this is a trigger warning for anyone. This is a very disturbing part of this story. The girls ask him if he's going to rape them, and he says no. They're just going to do a video shoot with a boy their age. Then he goes out to the living room and begins talking in 2 different voices.
Oh,
a deep voice like he's the director, and then a high voice like he's the boy. And the girls can't see because there's a pillowcase on their heads. And then he comes back into the room pretending to be the boy.
Karen, this is the most terrifying story I've ever heard in my life.
Isn't it horrible?
It's like, I was thinking in the beginning, it was like Silence of the Lambs when she goes in and holds.
Yes.
But it's worse. It's fucking worse.
Yeah. It's horrible.
Okay, sorry, keep going.
Well, essentially, he goes back in, pretends to be the boy, and rapes both girls. So, okay. So that's these two girls who are so unbelievably brave and like lived through this horrible thing, basically went in and just gave the police the beat by beat of how insane and crazy this whole attack and these murders were. So when the police interrogate Herb Coddington, he almost immediately admits to killing Dottie and Mabs. And they say that he was, when they burst in the door of his double wide, he immediately started screaming, "Don't take me to jail, I'm sick." But when they drove him to the police station, he was completely normal. And if anything, they said he seemed excited to be getting the attention and he talked a ton and was telling them a bunch of stuff. And was completely lucid and normal. So he's arraigned on May 20th, 1987. So I just think that timeline is insane. Definitely. Because they broke into the double wide on May 18th. It was like the day after, it was 2 days after the day they were kidnapped. So they found them in 48 hours.
I mean, that's insane, because who knows not who knows, what would have happened if they hadn't found them. This guy's a murderer. He's a killer, and he's a child rapist.
Yes.
The fact that they found them so quickly probably saved their lives. These two girls' lives.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
For sure. And so he's arraigned on May 20th, 1987 on 2 counts of murder and 4 counts of kidnapping, rape, and sexual abuse. He pleads not guilty. Okay, but now he's in custody. So police run a background check on him, and they find out that in 1984, he'd been arrested in Las Vegas, where he was a dealer. He got caught for a cheating scam. He'd been released on $500 bail, and that case was still pending. But then the police noticed that's like, oh, he used to live down in Las Vegas. So they call up the Las Vegas police and say, you might, I don't know if you know this guy, but we just caught him on like murder and child rape. And I don't know if there's anything you need to compare that to. And the Las Vegas police were like, can you take a cast of his teeth? And because he had not only snaggle teeth in the front, but a gap. And that was a bite mark that had been left on the body of a cold case victim, 12-year-old Sheila Jo Keister, which is the body from the email that someone sent in.
Holy fuck.
And we know that dental impressions aren't 100%. They're not DNA evidence. They're not whatever. Yeah. But apparently his teeth were so distinctive that they matched it to a bite on this little girl's body from this cold case.
It feels like such good circumstantial evidence on top of a bunch of other circumstantial evidence that I don't see.
Right.
I don't know.
It just adds to it.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
It adds to it. So that dental match, along with a 1981 police sketch that an ex-girlfriend confirmed to police matched Herb Coddington's appearance at the time that he lived in Las Vegas, gets him an additional charge for the murder of Sheila Jo Keister, added to the docket for him. So his trial, they end up moving it from South Lake Tahoe to Placerville, California, because details of his crimes are so widely known in the Tahoe area. And they wanted to put together a jury that was untainted by the media and untainted by local rumors. What's funny to me is Placerville is not that far away from this area.
Yeah.
So although it was kind of like the idea of it is fair, I don't think they were trying too hard to make things.
They did like a sidestep, but not like too
right.
hard.
Exactly.
Right.
I can't imagine the people in Placerville didn't know about this, but who knows? Yeah. The defense for Herb Coddington goes with the insanity plea. And Herb actually tells the jury he explains he's crazy because he'd been having fantasies about basically being with young girls, and that he thought God was giving him signs through traffic lights. So like if he had one of those thoughts while he was driving and he got to a red light, that was God telling him not to act on the thought.
Right.
But then if he had the thought and came to a green light, that was God telling him to go for it.
Wow.
And he alleges that when he thought about kidnapping the two girls, he was driving and he encountered a series of green lights.
No.
Just doesn't sound like it. Anyway, the prosecution gets up and explains to the jury that Herb was lucid and stable when the police arrested and interrogated him, and basically walked the jury through all of his very careful and extensively planned crimes, as well as his attempts to conceal his identity. And the jury has been watching him this whole time and notes that he shows no signs of remorse or anything, like a person who snapped and lost it and went insane and killed two ladies would, at least, if that were the case, it would be like they'd be horrified or something.
Sure.
There's no remorse, and he is just basking in the attention he's getting in the courtroom.
Wow.
So they, he kind of, it's the thing with like, he's the worst part of his own defense is him.
The planning that it took, like making business cards and calling up multiple like modeling agencies to try.
Oh yeah.
Like that's so premeditated, and there's so many chances to back out of that plan that that's not a good defense.
No. It takes very clear thinking to make a plan and to trick all these people and to do, clearly.
Yeah.
So on January 20th, 1989, Herb Coddington is found guilty on all charges. Now, the entire time, both of his parents have been in the courtroom every single day of his trial. And during the sentencing, they know that he's going to get the death penalty probably. Yeah. And so they do their best. They write letters trying to keep him from being sentenced to death. So this is a quote from the Placerville Mountain Democrat, which is the Placerville newspaper, about Herb's mother writing a letter pleading to give him a life sentence. Genevieve Coddington wrote, quote, "If Herb is allowed to live, he could perhaps help other inmates to learn to read or write. I do not feel Herb has finished doing what God has intended him to do." So Judge Finney, who was the presiding judge over the case, in open court noted that the letter and others from parents caused him, quote, "great emotional turmoil." And he said he found them to be, quote, "wonderful, fine, decent people who truly believed their son was mentally ill." But Finney saw things differently, calling Herb Coddington, quote, "tremendously egocentric and totally self-centered," and noted that he had rejected his parents' religion. And when the suspected killer originally talked with law enforcement regarding the case, Finney added from the bench during sentencing, "There was no mention of God or any mental aberration. That wasn't until later as an attempt to avoid the death sentence." He then told the court that what Herb Coddington had done in the case before the bench was, quote, "probably the most evil that I have ever been involved in."
Wow.
Unquote. Herb Coddington was sentenced to death and put on death row in San Quentin, and he remains there to this day. And that is the story of the murder of Sheila Jo Keister, Mabs Martin, and Dottie Walsh.
Wow. That was amazing, Karen. Great job.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Yes. How?
I've never heard of anything close to it.
Never. But that reminds me so much of like, I feel like those were our fears in the 80s, if there were like people like that existed. And we were just kind of finding that out,
Well, and I think it's like that was the thing you heard about happening in LA,
right,
or a big city. Yeah. But like, so I'm sure that was the other part of it, being in Reno, the biggest little city in the world. It's not a metropolitan. I mean, it's the biggest city in that area, but I don't think anyone would have been able to anticipate any of that.
Absolutely not. Oh, how horrifying.
Especially, once again, under the guise, this is the old trick, I'm here to do right. Yeah. I'm here flying the flag of no drugs allowed. Right. And everyone get on board. So,
And Mabs was like, but I'm also going to bring my friend for safety. Like, you know what I
Yes.
mean? Like that was her safety. And the parents probably heard that they're going with this responsible business owning woman who, you know, would hope have checked this person's background and everything. And they're bringing a friend. It's all safe. Everything's fine. It's going to be a couple hours, you know.
Yeah.
How would
It's
you
only
know?
good news when you're on that. That's people using, like kind of, moralistic stances or show business. It's so easy to trick people with show business promises because everyone deep down is like, what if I got discovered?
Totally.
Like, I think that people take, it's so easy to exploit that, that excitement.
And that mindset. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
God damn it. Should we do fucking hoorays? Okay. You want me to go first? You want to go first?
Sure. Yeah. Go for it.
Okay. This one's from the fan cult forum, and I swear to God, this could be written by me in 2 weeks. This one is from Hiking Historian. It says, the title is Fuck You, Self-Doubt. For years, I have struggled with self-doubt and self-criticism. Hi. I have never been very kind to myself. However, this COVID quarantine mixed with a mega dose of therapy has helped me to start to break the cycle. I took a risk and bought a nice bike and have begun distance cycling, and I love it. My farthest ride so far is 18 miles. I'm also working on construction projects around my house while I'm forced to stay here. I always believed I wasn't capable of doing handy things, but I've replaced a sink and have painted multiple rooms. I've had to face my self-doubt by trying new things and being willing to look like an idiot or a fail, but I'm so damn proud of myself and what I've accomplished. Fucking hooray.
Nice. That's great.
I want that to be me in 2 weeks.
That's amazing. Well, then that reminds me of this one. This is really good. It's from Chase. And it's CHAYSE. And Chase says, I've been off work for 2 weeks now, and I hate lying around. So after a day or two, I decided to take up a new hobby I've been wanting to learn how to do for almost 5 years. I learned how to sew. I bought a sewing machine and fabric and started to sew masks and headbands to donate to local hospitals and nursing homes. It's been nice to have something to do while sitting at home and be able to do my part in containing this crazy virus. Everyone stay home and stay safe.
That is amazing.
Love that.
Actually, on our Instagram account, I posted a couple photos of some people, some Murderino makers I posted some photos of and links of some Murderino makers who've tagged us who are making masks, and then I had everyone in the comments post what they're doing mask wise or otherwise, and where people can help them out with fabric or with money or with, you know, they can team up. I don't know. So that's on our Instagram too, which is just so awesome that so
Great.
many people are doing that. Okay.
So many makers.
So many. So this one is by Totes Booked on the fan cult forum. My fucking hooray is that I'm alive. I was listening to episode 216 of MFM while taking a shower a few days ago when I lost consciousness and hit my head pretty badly on my old school cast iron tub. I never thought a podcast would help save my life, but listening to you guys talk helped me focus when I regained consciousness and gave me a pretty good timestamp of how long I was out for. The last thing I remember before I fell was you guys talking about Netflix and Tiger King, and woke up to talk about dead flowers in a bathroom. They don't know why I fainted, but I'm still alive, and it's kind of a miracle. I managed to only get a 6-inch gash and 12 stitches to the back of my skull, but it could have been so much worse. Stay sexy and don't let your bathtub murder you, Kristen.
God, Kristen.
Kristen, we're glad you're
so
okay.
Glad. And also, she had to go get stitches at a time like this.
Totally.
Even worse.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Good.
I'm glad that turned out good. Okay, so this is from, it's all one thing because it's from the fan club.
Yeah.
Dana Nakasi. They say, wanted to share my fucking hooray. I subscribe to a YouTube channel, Bumgardner Restoration, which is usually some chill guy restoring beautiful pieces of art while narrating in a very calm voice. And in parentheses, really useful these days. So useful, Dana, that I'm writing that down because that sounds like a dream. Okay. So back to this. last week he found out a company in China that he usually purchases supplies from had turned all of its manufacturing towards making N95 masks. He decided to purchase a bunch of masks to donate to local healthcare workers and shared a GoFundMe with his subscribers in case anyone wanted to help him buy more. His initial goal was $6,000. I donated when it had just surpassed $8,000, and the day ended at $28,000.
Oh my God.
In 3 days, people had donated over $62,000. Ooh, that just gave me chills. All the masks will be donated to #GetPPEChai, a grassroots organization of medical workers in Chicago working to distribute donated protective equipment to the healthcare workers on the front lines that need them. I know this is just a drop in the face of the sea of issues these days, but it was really lovely seeing such an overwhelming outpouring of support. Hope everyone is safe and sane. I love that.
That's beautiful.
I love everything about that message.
I love it.
So good.
This one's from Instagram. It's by Grace Bouchard. My fucking hooray is the group of badass teachers I work with. I am a special ed teacher at an elementary school, and I am proud to say that I work with caring teachers who are less concerned about students completing math problems and more worried about our kids' emotional well-being, quality of their home lives, and those whose only meal is the hot lunch they get for free at school. Within a few days, systems were set up to reach out to our students and their families virtually, deliver food via school bus drivers, and even set up free hotspots in homes so students could have internet access. Our jobs now are so much more than distance learning and posting assignments online. Yes, we come to school to teach, but we also come for our students who need that morning hug or even just eye contact. And we have started to find a way to connect while still social distancing.
Yeah.
That's lovely. Thank you, teachers, for everything you're doing.
Thank you, teachers. I feel like if there was ever a thing that was going to help people understand how cutting education funding in this country has devastated all of us, this is the kind of thing where it's just like what people are doing every day in their homes with their kids now. They're realizing that they've made it so teachers can barely make a living, and they do that every day with their kids. And there's nothing better. It's just the best firsthand thing of like, don't you think these people deserve to make more money than so little money that they have to get second jobs, which is what my sister's had to do for the majority of her career.
Yes.
Well, this one's just simple, but I like it. It's from Jill H. My fucking hooray today was my husband and I randomly pulling into our neighbor's yard, blasting Hall & Oates, and having a random physical distancing dance party for 2 minutes, and then we left. The smiles were well worth it. Keep dancing.
I love it.
I love it.
I love it.
There's a video I retweeted on my Twitter of a lady who is from her front porch with a megaphone yelling to her friends standing in the street going, when this is all over, I want to have a drink with everybody and hug people and touch people and have the best life ever. And it's the sweetest. And it's like, it's so true. I feel like, as awful as all this is, it's giving people a true sense of like what's important, what has been ripped out of your hands in quote unquote normal life that you want back so bad.
Yeah.
And it's not meetings and it's not, the rat race. It's like looking at people in the face and being able to talk to them.
Definitely. I miss hugging my friends so much and hugging random murderinos we meet. The last time I met someone who listens to the podcast and told me was at a makeup store that she was working at, and I couldn't hug her because it was the beginning of the pandemic, and it felt so wrong. It was just like, I'm not supposed to just say hi to you and walk away. I want to hug you and like have a connection, and you couldn't do it. I miss those connections.
Yeah. Is that it?
Send us your fucking hoorays on Instagram or Twitter or email or fan cults or whatever the fuck you feel like.
Also, it's really nice that people that are sending in the detail ones about getting through, because we just want to repeat it so that other people can hear your stories of how you're making it work.
Totally.
Because it's legitimately helping people. It helps me when I see people on social media talking about what they're doing, what they're watching, how they're talking to people.
Yeah.
I think I already talked, I maybe talked to the minisode, but my friends and I, that normally have like an in-person, obviously, game night, we all got on that app House Party and had a game night on House Party. And it was so hilarious. And when I hung up, like I felt high from it. It was like this like, oh, and it's like, oh yeah, because I haven't talked to anyone for days. I mean, it really matters and it really helps you. So
definitely
any little thing.
Yeah. How you're getting through and what your extenuating circumstances are. And we want to hear it.
Yep. And, but mostly stay sexy.
And don't get murdered.
Goodbye.
Elvis, do you want a cookie?
If audiobooks are your thing, or if you've been meaning to listen to more of them, you should check out a podcast called Earsay, the Audible and iHeart Audiobook Club, hosted by Cal Penn.
Each episode spotlights standout audiobooks on Audible across all kinds of genres: sci-fi, comedy, romance, thrillers, and more, with Cal talking to guests who help break down what makes each story worth listening to.
It's a fun, easy way to discover your next great audiobook.
Check out Earsay on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Goodbye.
The best time to think about home security is before you need it.
That's exactly why there's Simply Safe.
Traditional home security only alerts you after a break-in has already happened, and that's too late. Simply Safe is changing that.
Simply Safe's US-based live agents identify threats on your property and help deter them so intruders never get to your house.
The system is customizable so you can build one that fits your home and your specific needs.
The 24/7 professional monitoring is effective and affordable and won't lock you into a long-term contract.
I think that's what's so scary for so many people is that long-term contract. And like, what if it turns out you don't like it or need it, but they don't have that because they know you'll like it and you'll know that you need it and feel so much safer when you have it. Like at this point in my life, I would never go without a security system on my house. I just feel safer with actually having Simply Safe around.
There's a whole staff at Simply Safe that's waiting to talk to you and help you out. Right now, you can get 50% off your new system by visiting simplysafe.com/MFM.
That's half off at simplysafe.com/MFM.
There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Goodbye.
Vacation planning should feel like a breeze, not a deep dive into countless travel sites searching for the best deal.
With Cheap Caribbean's Budget Beach Finder, you can search every destination and every date all in one search.
You'll save time and money with the Budget Beach Finder.
Say goodbye to endless scrolling and tab hopping and hello to Budget Beach Bliss at your fingertips.
Go to cheapcaribbean.com to try out the Budget Beach Finder and see just how stress-free vacation planning should be.
Goodbye.